Hey everybody, welcome to Cinema Gulp. I'm Ben.
And I'm John.
And today we're doing a Gulp review of Cock Blockers. So John, why is it that we have a birthday cake with candles that say the number 2 on it?
Because today we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary for Cinema Gulp.
2 years of the Gulps. Woohoo! Yes, and we want to thank everybody that's watched the reviews, that's commented on the reviews, that's given us ideas for new shows, movies they want to see reviewed. It's been amazing so far.
Yeah, we really appreciate everybody chiming in and making more comments these days. It seems like we're getting a little bit more activity on the comment section, and we really want to hear from you to know what ideas you want to see us use going forward, what you really love about the show, maybe if there's things you don't like about the show. But we really appreciate everybody out there.
Yeah, if there's things you don't like about the show, write those down in a list and send them via email.
Send them to our personal emails.
Send them to cingulp1@gmail.com. So, it's kind of a bummer that we're doing this 2-year anniversary in the wake of the passing of one of the greatest filmmakers. That's debatable. I love his work,
but he's an all-time great. I gotta go there, and we're talking about Milos Forman.
Yes, Milos Forman. One of my all-time favorite films in my top 10. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's a masterpiece, completely, in my opinion. And he just had such a unique voice in film. Like everything you saw that he did. I mean, he changed through the years. His films got different, but stories that always spoke to him were about outcasts. That's why he was so perfect for the Andy Kaufman story and the Larry Flint story, because it's all about like us against them mentality, people against the world, and people completely misunderstood.
Yeah, his films were always, to some degree, or the ones that we love, a lot of them displayed right here, were kind of like biopics, but not your traditional biopic. They were much done in a much more interesting way than just a standard slice of life of this person. And the people he chose to focus on over the 4 or 5 films we have displayed here, they're all like game changers, groundbreakers, guys who wrote their own rules.
Yeah.
And as you said, egotistical guys that may be hard to love, but they were geniuses in their own right. And I think he did an amazing job of getting into the head of these characters, showing their genius, but also showing the anguish and the torture that these guys dealt with to be their own man and to really stand apart from the rest of the crowd.
His movies really spoke to me. Like, that's at a young age. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is not a film I should have been in love with at a young age, but it just spoke to me. And it had a lot to do with Jack Nicholson's performance, which is another thing about Milos he's so great at. He's a great actor's director. So good, for sure. So good.
And not just the leads, but also the entire cast. Yeah. Even the obviously supporting roles are great, but even minor roles, people who only have a little bit of screen time, they still really come across in all of his films and stand out and have those memorable moments.
One film we're not even talking about is Amadeus. A lot of people consider it a masterpiece. I love the strangeness of the movie and how it's not really about Amadeus Mozart.
The character that it focuses on is just as interesting and compelling, at least the way it's presented in the film. Salieri is an amazing character and an amazing performance. I mean, I think all of the lead performances from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Amadeus, Larry Flint, and Man on the Moon all are deserving of Academy Awards for the leads, and I think at least 2 of those did earn Academy Awards for F. Murray
Abraham,
and Jack Nicholson.
And I will always wonder why Jim Carrey did not receive a nomination, because he was phenomenal,
very
even if he's a megalomaniacal douchebag. And see a documentary called Jim and Andy if you want to see what Milos as a person had to put up with while on set.
Oh wow,
with Jim Carrey, because it's all about Jim Carrey like becoming Andy Kaufman and how Milos almost quit because he just couldn't put up with this idiot. That was another. Larry Flint and Man on the Moon were 2 very similar type of biopics that told a story in a certain way. And they're almost like companion pieces, because they're of these 2 individuals that no one really think to make a movie of.
During a similar time period as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, during a similar time. Both starring, which I hope is not his muse, but Courtney Love.
That's true. But anyway, when we're talking about him being a great director of actors, I mean, to be able to get the performances that he gets out of Courtney Love in both of those films, that's pretty impressive.
I don't think she did much in Man on the Moon, but she was pretty decent.
Yeah, she seeed like she was an actress versus a stunt casting of some sort.
Yeah, she did not seem like someone who blew her husband's head off.
Or blew out the candles.
We got to blow this fucker out.
Go ahead and blow
you do
that
it.
one out.
I just sneezed and blew that one out.
That was me.
Oh.
Make a wish.
All right, here's to 10 more years of Cinema Gulp. So anyway, rest in peace, Milos. You're a fantastic filmmaker. Cinema Gulp is always going to be regretful that we never got to review one of your films, at least as a new film.
Maybe as a chaser.
So,
all right. Well, now to discuss Cinema Gulp and the 2 years that we've had doing these reviews and doing them for you, the audience out there. Ben, what is your favorite movie over the last 2 years that we've had a chance to review?
Oh my God, Annihilation. Annihilation is the best movie of the last half decade.
The only review I think we've given a 10 to, or at least that Ben gave a 10 to.
I gave a 10 to. That was not a chaser of an otherwise masterpiece or something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
I was so excited. Annihilation has become our third highest viewed review, and we had audio issues in that one, and it's 20 minutes. That's crazy. Like, people really were interested in that movie. They just didn't go see it. You know, a lot of people like to. We benefited because we got a lot of views on it, and we're still to this day getting comments on it, and that blew my mind because we had said on our New Year's special what we were looking forward to the most. That was my most anticipated, and what it turned out to be was when you're a movie reviewer and you get to review something that makes you feel that way, and then you get to talk about it, and it was something that you were hoping was going to be great.
That lives up to the expectations. It's rare that happens. That it surpasses expectations. That is rare. I think.
That's it for me. What about you?
For me, I think my favorite of the last 2 years is still Hell or High Water.
Yeah,
to me, it's just a perfect screenplay with great performances. There's really no flaws I see in the movie. It's just a very entertaining movie. And I think we got a chance to do a really great review and say some great things about it.
Yeah, and it's funny. That's our fourth most viewed review.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of our favorites have some of our higher view counts, which is really nice.
Maybe our fifth now, because I think A Quiet Place is starting to pick up a lot. So.
Yeah.
What was your favorite time? What do you think is the best review that we did? And let's start, because if you guys are newer to the show or whatever, for the past 7 months we've been on camera, but before that, we did it more of just like a visual experience in like the vein of podcast, but with visual representations of things.
And we had an amazing intro that looked a lot like this.
Your favorite one, you can say ever, or the favorite one since we've been on camera.
Sure. Well, I feel like some of my favorites were ones where we were negative and bashing on a film.
Oh, me too.
Because we had a lot of fun doing it.
By a mile.
I think two of the ones that I really enjoyed that were the positives we kind of just mentioned. Annihilation and Hell or High Water, I think we did really great reviews. Those were fun reviews. But I think some of my favorites would really be the ones that we got a chance to bash. Something like Mother.
Mother was great.
Which was a 0 for me.
This movie sucks.
And Alien Covenant.
Alien Covenant was another one. Although
We're
that
so
one's
mad.
This may be the worst movie in the entire Alien series. I'm so mad and still mad about that film. So
I think our shows are better when we're pissed off.
Yeah, I didn't really include Alien Covenant the same way I think something like Mother, where I was happy to bash it. I was pretty pissed off bashing Alien. Yeah. Didn't feel right having to do that because I really love the Alien series, but that film deserved to be bashed.
I think Girl on a Train and Jackie, those are two films that we just literally crucified, and it just came across really funny in my opinion, like just how they came out, you know, from everything, just like the comparisons of like Girl on a Train to like Real Housewives of Orange County.
But sadly that review is not available to be seen at the moment. Maybe we'll get it back up at some time, but it got pulled down by YouTube. We don't know why.
See, I'm cool if studios pull down things that we say bad things about, but to this day I can't figure out why Universal would pull Allied down, because we both gushed over it and loved it.
That was a good film.
I don't think they watch them.
But obviously we both discussed Mrs. Peregrine's Pauper Penguins School for Loopy Children. I don't know, whatever that film was. That was a terrible movie, so we had fun bashing that. Hey, we're going to do a quick shot review for Mrs. Peregrine's School for Retards. I don't even know what the fucking title of this movie is. I don't think we're keeping that, are we? What is the title? Mrs. Farragut. And that's kind of the change we've had over the 2 years now being on camera. We weren't really sure at the beginning how we wanted to approach this. We didn't want to be just like every other reviewer out there to some degree, standing in front of our DVD collection. So we've tried to come up with some creative ideas to keep it interesting and fresh from review to review.
And we hope it is for people, because that's the challenge. Like when you have if the passion's already there for film and the knowledge is there, because we both are students of film, then you have to be different somehow. You can't just do these things sitting on your bed in your bedroom on your iPhone. Like, you have to give people something that says, why should we trust Cinema Gulp?
So we hope you're enjoying some of the changes we've made and seeing us on camera and seeing these wonderful faces every week. But yeah, I think on-camera stuff, some of the funny ones we've done was Justice League. That was another film where we kind of ripped it apart to a good degree.
I was defending it, but having fun, like defending it in sort of an ironical way, I guess, But I loved doing that one. And my favorite thing we've done as an experience, from just shooting it and watching all the films together and then editing it and putting it out, was this year, right around Christmas, the holiday mixer. I think production-wise, it was exactly what I envisioned it to be, and it was so much fun, and we were drunk, which was fun.
The mixers are a blast. We get together and see 3 films in one day. Ben makes awesome food. We're drinking all day long. The reviews get a bit more drunk as the day goes along.
One of the coolest things about doing this for 2 years is when you go back and you look at what we've done, which is coming on 150 some odd videos of different shows, and sometimes we do Unwound, where we fuck with movies and audio.
You gotta do more of those. Those are hilarious.
Thank you. Other people do similar things, but it's all about your presentation, and if you can one up somebody else with something.
I feel
funnier.
like there's enough Marvel material. Maybe you should do a Marvel one. That would be pretty funny.
That's the thing about Unwounds, is they're hard, because you have to just, those ideas just have to come in your head, like when you're watching. A Star Wars was easy because I know those movies so well. I'm just like, oh, this would go perfect with this audio. Like Marvel ones, I don't know as well. Like it'd be harder, but it might be something fun to explore. But I can do it anytime, because there's going to be 700 more Marvel movies. So
exactly. Figuring out the format was really kind of a hurdle we had to get over at the beginning. I think we've got it pretty good now for all of our various shows that we do.
Yeah, I think most YouTube reviewers, they have to find their footing. Like, it changes over time. Like, I'm so happy with where we're at now, with our sets and being on camera and being able to show the emotion in your face and your hand gestures, and you notice that I'm like George W. Senior, like I do George Bush Senior.
I'm playing the drums the whole time over here. I can't stop flapping my hands around. How about the Chug Meter?
Oh man,
do you miss the Chug Meter?
Is that what it was called?
Chug Meter.
It was audience chuggability meter.
That's
or something.
Right. That's what it was.
I will apologize for that, because it was my idea, and every week before a show, he would be like, "I still don't really get it," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." Even when I was explaining it, I wasn't fully grasping my own concept.
And we held on to it for a long time. I looked back. We had it almost up until King Kong of last year.
Yeah.
Almost a full year. So for our audience chuggability, for Jason Bourne, I'm going to say this was a flat. I just had no interest in this film while watching it.
I think we had to have an actual verbal fight before I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm tired. I don't get it anymore either.
We simplified it at one point where it was only we did it once instead of each of us giving our own version of the Chug Meter.
Did we?
And that I was checking that out. There's the last 5 or 6 times we did it. It was just one opinion that we talked about.
It doesn't fit in with the new format of us being on camera, so it was ixnayed way before that though.
Yeah.
But it just
and it felt like we had 2 different scores that we were trying to give that didn't really line up or make sense. We're
trying to be different. Fucking sue us.
Yeah.
Sue me.
So that's one change that is definitely out the window and gone.
I want to say everything that we've simplified to make the show more accessible, easier to follow and enjoyable is all from listening to what people gave, all from people's ideas, especially being on camera. We're slowly seeing progression. We're slowly seeing more views and more subscriptions and stuff like that. I think that does play a major part in that, listening to what people say, even though sometimes you're like, well, it didn't work right off the bat. You're seeing those change. You're seeing things kind of pick up a little bit after a while.
You mean our Thor review, which is one of our first on camera? I don't know if anybody notices the issues we had there being on camera, but the flames of Ragnarok were burning the last 5 minutes of the review
because we were out of focus.
Yeah. Sorry, the damn Hulk mass had a problem with the green screen. There was a little disconnect there, so we're sorry about that.
Leave it to all the ideas that's up in here to figure out a way to make that still watchable.
Exactly. Yeah, you pulled it up, and that's one thing that we have been able to do. To be honest, every review, we're not really sure the direction we want to go to make it different from the last review. And we often come up with ideas in the last 5 minutes before we start rolling camera to be able to distinguish each review from the last one. And all the costumes and stuff, that's been a lot of fun, implementing the various costumes. Some, we just don't know what to do with it. But we always, in the last 5 minutes, we honestly come up with some great ideas, I think.
I literally think the most distinct difference from us to anyone else is our thumbnails, is our review thumbnails, our representation of each show, because most people just put themselves in front of a movie poster, and that's cool, whatever. And like we really sit down and almost have a meeting about like what type of thing do we want to, like, how do we want to represent this movie? Is it ironic? Is it funny? Is it straightforward? But we always put ourselves in a situation, and people tell me all the time that they love the thumbnails.
Oh, I love the thumbnails personally. I go back and look at those more than the reviews sometimes. But, I mean, I think we come up with that idea after we've done the review and we want to take a picture. We come up with it within like 5 minutes. There's not a full meeting or a lot of thought about it. But we do talk about come up with something that might feel original that not everybody has. Like,
I want to talk about happy hour specials. We've done 3 of those, and I've struggled because I'm drunk in those. Like, I'm legitimately
That's
drunk.
That's the point. It's happy hour.
It's the happy hour special, and we have some of our best and most trusted and funny, colleagues come in. Our friends, Bob Akmasudi and Devin Byrne, Owen Hunt. I'm trying to think. We've had Mark B on there before doing, all drinking and all trying to give a review that makes sense. But the first on camera happy hour special we did, I am clearly fucked up.
I was expecting a scene where he pulls it out of the water and then flies off to save the day, which he...
Like, I'm so drunk, like, I got the buggly eyes, and I'm bloated, and, like, I'm trying to talk to Devin, like, and then my eyes are all wide. Like, I was like, oh, my God, when I watched it.
And I think that's one film that we both agreed, if we had to make a change to a score we had given to any film over the 2 years, it's probably the one we feel like we rated a bit higher than we really feel about it nowadays. Yeah. We both gave it 7s.
I was blowing that movie when I walked out of the theater, especially because we started drinking right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so great.
The reality was, I think that film's not as strong as we all thought it was. We probably would be giving it lower scores.
Yeah, I actually don't even like it.
No.
I gave it a 7.5. I'd probably give it a 5.
I made some ridiculous claim that it might be better than one of the 3 original Star Wars. I don't even know what... Obviously, the alcohol had already gotten to me in the first 5 minutes of the review because I don't know what the fuck I meant there.
I agree with Mark Hamill. The Last Jedi is not good.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I could have done Moana with you. Because your review was great. That was that was your best solo one. Because everything you said about it when I finally got around to seeing it was right on the money, and I thought that movie was fantastic.
Well, you've given so many great solo ones. Whenever I'm not available with work problems or whatever, you usually fill in the gap by doing a solo one, and you've done 10 or more, I think, and they've all been awesome, man. You've done a really great job with all of those.
When you've been off on Cinema Gulp assignments?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
No, thanks, man. That's cool. Yeah, no, our solo ones can be fun sometimes, and there's only been one since we've been on camera for 7 months, and now I want to say that was my Ladybird.
Ladybird, I believe.
Yeah,
which I didn't really want to review anyway, so I'm glad you did that.
So anyway, just to reiterate, this is our 2-year celebration. We still have lots of beers to get to once we get off camera, but thank you so much. There's so many people that have really just given us good ideas and come up and said how much they like us, and whenever John and I are together at a social event, we're just known as Cinema Gulp now, and that kind of feels great. I love that shit. I'm fucking all into that. Like, keep doing it, He's Sin, I'm Gulp, whatever. I don't know. But 2 years of the Gulps, man. Moving strong, keep moving forward. What are some of the things that we have coming up?
We're going to do, like you may have seen last year, we went to a Lost Boys 30th anniversary screening.
Yeah.
This is going to be a 25th anniversary screening for Dazed and Confused coming up that we're going to be at.
We're going to be interviewing some of the cast, like Ben Affleck and Matthew McConaughey. No, not those two, but everybody else.
The entire rest of the cast. No, but that's going to be fun, and we also have a chaser planned for that. We're really excited about a show we hope to get to pull off, which is going to be a sideways chaser that's going to be shot at a winery.
Yes.
Thanks to Danny Newcomb, one of our great friends.
And we'll give you lots of details on that winery so you can go visit it as well.
Exactly. We won't say the name now because I don't think we know it in our head.
It is
Jirachi or something.
It is not from the movie, but we will make it very similar.
Yeah, so we've got some fun shows coming up. We've also got some more mixers planned. Throughout the summer, we might do one of those. And obviously, we're going to keep on top of doing the Halloween and the Christmas ones. There's so many great films to fit those genres, so we'll definitely keep those going every year.
I can't believe that we've been doing this for 2 years now. And the reason I say that is because we should have been doing it way before we actually started doing it. I think we were watching a Star Wars marathon before The Force Awakens, and everyone at this party was like, why are you guys not doing a movie review show? And then we made it happen. Like, we took those steps. Instead of just being lazy and talking about it, we took those steps, and like, it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
It's so much fun.
The shit that we get to do, you know? Like, I mean, the shit we get to go to film festivals.
Well, yeah, those kind of events that we've got coming up. We're also talking about going to a couple film festivals this summer if we can fit it in the schedule. Yeah. And getting the press passes to be involved with these events.
Looking at you, Comic-Con. Come on, man. Cinema Gulp. Let the little guys in. Let the little guys in.
But it's really... It's just a lot of fun we've had over 2 years. We're going to keep it going. It's going to get even better every show. That's always our goal. We've got some new guests that we're hoping to invite onto the show that you haven't seen before with their insight.
We had Vern Troyer booked. Unfortunately, not happening.
R.I.P. No, he's here. He's right down there. Hey, Vern. Hey, Vern.
I think that he got buried in the baby box from A Quiet Place.
Without the respirator, though. There are two other guests we want to give a quick shout out to who have been part of a number of episodes, and that is my dog Sally and your dog Sadie. We love having them on the show.
Always. So, they're welcome.
Shout out.
They're great. They're great correspondents. They're out there doing the dirty work on the sidelines and on the red carpet.
They do the rough work. Weren't we here to do a review of some film?
Oh yeah, that's right. So we saw the movie Cockblockers, which is both funny and really stupid. I give it 4.75 gulps.
Actually, I haven't even seen it.
We drink your cinema.
I drink it up.
Yeah, it got pretty ridiculous though when Black Panther took over his crown and he started throwing paper towels out to the crowd and stuff like that.
Brandy Tennell may have slipped Ashley Wagner a little something in her drink last night.
What I wouldn't do to be a fly on the wall in that hotel room, John.
Welcome to Cinema Gulp.
I gotta take these fucking things out of my mouth.
We're here with Billy Wirth, one of the stars of the movie and many other TV shows.